don't know, you could do seaweed and rice rolls.
Yeah.
Keep those questions
There's actually
coming,
a
guys.
really great vegan sushi place in San Francisco called Shizen. It's I didn't know until I ate there that it's a Michelin-rated restaurant.
Wow.
And it was
What does that mean? Michelin?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
it's a star rating.
Yeah.
Super like prestigious.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I just knew I'd heard about it. I wanted to go there, and I showed up and had to wait a very long time.
Oh.
But it was awesome.
I really want to try one of those sushi burritos. It's on my list with the Impossible Burger. Have you seen those? They're like
You can
like
just make a sushi burrito.
Yeah.
So is a sushi burrito just
it's
like a huge
handheld,
roll?
Yeah,
Just
like
get a
you
big
can
nori
hold
sheet.
it.
Like a
Fill it with
Chipotle
rice.
sushi?
I don't cook things like that.
It's a sushi feeding tube.
Yeah, no, it's like a thing. I saw like a
I've had 'em
Pinterest
before.
or
It's not that
Instagram or
special.
something. And I was like, that looks amazing. You've had one?
Yeah.
Well, you don't even eat fish, so it's not like the real thing.
Why?
'Cause-
It was filled with great things.
But it was like the rice like that, like the
Yeah.
like sushi, but it sounds cool.
I really want like inarazushi, which is like tofu skin around rice.
Yeah, I've had that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Has anybody been to Japan?
I have.
No, I might go this winter.
I
was
really
eyeing
want to
it
go
up.
there this winter. Hey,
Oh.
You want to go?
I'm free.
All right.
Yeah.
What was that? You're muted. That's why it's hard to hear you.
I said I'm assuming Lonnie has. Lonnie, have you been to Japan?
Yes.
Yep.
I'm dying
a lot
to try.
of this is transiting to and from workstations.
It still counts.
Okay.
I really want to like their culture seems so cool, and like I want to try all the food and.
I went to Hokkaido with like some family on a family trip, because I just don't see like my relatives in Taiwan that often. And I like came back and wrote or made a comic about it afterwards.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's where I got a lot of practice from.
Awesome.
By the way, viewers, I wish you could see Peyton's notebook. He
So
is
good. So good.
drawing
Thank
his
you. I'm glad you
journal.
like it.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I want to see the USBL drawing after this.
I didn't do one for USBL, but I did
Or the
multi-beam and side scan.
That's
yeah.
what I meant.
Peyton, do you only draw larger life events like being on the Nautilus, or do you have like a book of
Laundromat.
like, yeah, Laundromat Peyton, or like Peyton tying his shoes?
Peyton on the 45.
I like dorm room.
That time he tripped up the stairs.
Doing one for college, but no. So far it's only been for like big trips because it's easier to write about stuff. Like there's more happening.
You could be like that, was it that gum commercial where you draw a little cartoon on the wrapper? Nobody knows that?
No.
Nobody knows
To be
that?
a gum chewer.
Oh.
It's a gum chewer.
Does anybody
Man.
ever see commercials?
I haven't seen a commercial since like 1999.
Adblock.
That thing that people fast forward through now.
Except at the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the only reason I watch. Although they've been okay recently.
This year, the guacamole one was really funny. Like the taco guacamole.
What was the year where they kept being a Bud Light commercial? It would start off as some other commercial.
Was it?
Nope, Bud Light.
Oh, the Was Up commercials were
Something
so
like that.
funny.
And the frogs.
The Budweiser frogs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So many things. I feel like I see that Doritos commercial from the Super Bowl a while back where it's like a time machine. Guys in a box? No. I know.
No one knows what you're talking about.
I'm dating
Brian.
myself.
Not a lot going on in this section of seafloor here.
No. This whole line is
Yeah.
pretty
A lot of
dire.
nothing.
Except for the beginning, that was.
That was where the hope.
This is where we want the plane to be.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because then
That'll be so easy to dive on.
Yeah, there it is.
Just like
And when we
Right
did our
now.
Argus push core the other night, it seemed like the bottom wasn't too rocky underneath or too sedimented.
Hello, Australia. Feel free to send us some questions. Oh, see, the viewers, they think it was double mid-gum. They're on my side.
Oh.
Wow, that's a
there you
twin
go.
one. Double the
pleasure.
double
See?
the fun. Yeah, well, that was a.
That's all right.
Came
That
out of
was
left
from
field.
1999.
I'm justified.
Yeah, I think that was the last commercial I saw.
It was the last one before summer went dark.
Yeah.
Summer, how do you avoid ads?
So, probably same way. Well, I don't know. You don't have cable, right, Summer?
I do not have
I do not have cable either.
What about like YouTube or like online?
I mean, I'm being a little facetious, I guess.
Well,
I've seen
okay.
like an ad or two
Right,
since
YouTube.
1999.
Man, I'm like a sniper. 5, 4,
Yeah.
3, 2,
You gotta keep
1,
your
bam.
hand on that
Yeah.
button hovering.
They started doing like 2 ads chained together that you can't skip, and I'm like, why? Just give me my content. I just want to watch this like 12-second dog video.
This cat riding a Roomba. I have to see it. We'll flip the script. Let's try this. We're going to ask a question to our viewers.
Ooh.
What is your favorite part about watching the Nautilus? Watching us hopping on live? Do you enjoy our friendly banter?
Well, is it multiple choice? What's B?
Do you enjoy our riddles?
Huh.
Or C,
The thrill
literally
of
anything
exploration?
else?
And what are some of the viewers' favorite archaeological sites?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a good turnaround.
Or highlights, maybe.
Oh, here we go. Happy exploring the California Ballards. Jeff, Carol, and Andrew, thank you for tuning in.
I think, isn't Ben in San Francisco now? Not sure.
In Channel
But
2, we have a
just sent-
satellite view of Neptune.
Ben's at fellow Camel. Can you believe Camel is a mascot for Connecticut College?
Seems out of place.
It does.
There's a community college in Michigan called the Schoolcraft Ocelots.
If you're going to do mascots, you're going to end up at Evergreen in Washington and UC Santa Cruz. You know those? The Evergreen Gooey Ducks.
And then the banana slugs.
Yeah, the Santa Cruz Banana Slugs.
Rock.
Rock.
Were they like
Yeah.
the
Rock.
bowls were taken or something? The banana slugs?
Yep.
Yep, banana slugs.
Because they're so fast.
They're
Well, it's
prevalent.
a
UC Santa Cruz is known for a-
Santa Cruz.
An amazing track team.
Definitely.
So our first response, Heather enjoys snooping on her sister and learning new things. Another viewer enjoys waiting to hopefully one day see the Kraken on our screens.
Ooh,
there you go.
the Kraken.
Kraken.
It's pretty wily.
They also look forward to the reaction we'll have to said Kraken,
Yeah, that's always good.
which is usually the best part about any Nautilus
That's
video
what the
when you discover
comments
something.
always say too.
Ooh. My cousin Ben is doing a fellowship at Google.
Wow.
Oh.
Oh, what's to,
cool.
do they really have like nap rooms and meditation Zen centers
So. Oh,
and
No, we'll have
like
to find
foam
out.
pits?
yeah, Emily and Ben just drove across
Phone
country, but they
pits?
did it in like 4 days, which seems ridiculous.
I don't know, maybe I made that last one up, but
I would jump in a foam pit.
everyone
see,
needs
that
a
sounds like
break
a
every now and then. You
dungeon.
just
Yes.
dive into a colorful foam pit.
Not a
Oh,
ball pit.
foam pit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you said phone pit, and
Oh.
I was
Oh,
imagining
that
like
sounds
That's more
terrible.
they catch
painful.
you on your phone during work, and you just get tossed in.
No, I picture like a big pit of foam and a diving board, and it's like, I need
Yeah.
a break. And then you just like dive in and you just sit there among the colors.
You don't
Is that
though. You
anyone
sink.
else's?
You sink beneath the foam.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to climb out.
Then you can hide for like a couple of
Another
hours.
viewer likes the fact that they never know what they're going to see next when
That's
they watch.
what I like.
That's perfect answer.
That's my cheat when people say, what's your favorite organism? It's the one we're about to see.
Huh.
Another viewer just wrote in that they've been watching marine biology stuff since they were a little kid. And they used to read everything they could about deep sea creatures and watch everything from documentaries to David Attenborough films. And being able to see everything that they learned about as a kid in real life and hearing people talk about it is something that they think is very exciting and cool.
Cool.
That's
Yes.
Yeah, I
nice.
think that was all of us as kids as well.
You are my spirit animal.
Barbara likes watching and learning what's on our seafloor, the animals, barnacles, and even that purple orb. Do you all remember that one? A few seasons ago?
Oh,
The
yeah, I was
purple
the dummy who
koosh ball?
said Blobus purpleus.
That turned out. What did that turn out to be? A nudibranch?
Pluribranch.
Ask Samantha.
It was a pluribranch, I believe.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, this is a good analogy. This viewer says, I love watching Nautilus because it's the closest thing to real-life Star Trek we can get. A control room full of knowledgeable scientists, engineers, technicians, and artists reacting to weird and wonderful things that have never been seen before.
Also, one of them is
Aw.
Spock.
Very true.
pleasant. Thank you.
Yeah, that
Save
was
that
very
one.
nice.
Wait a
Save
minute, why
that
am I wearing a
soundbite.
red shirt? You don't even know my name, do you?
Another of our viewers enjoys our banter, riddles, and would love to see some deep-sea fish. Well, I'd like to see the extremely rare fish, the Samoan clipper.
Yes,
That's right.
that's the top of my list.
Maybe we'll see both. Who knows?
Fish inside. of
In
the
its
cooler.
natural habitat on Search Line 16.
Oops.
Yes.
That didn't sound good. Sorry, I was very alarming, but that's not how I meant it.
The ship is fine. We are
Yeah,
fine.
we're fine.
Yes. What do you see, Ed? Is it
Nothing.
a rock?
Nothing.
We haven't had any jokes yet on this shift.
Skeleton walks into a bar and orders
There it
a
is.
beer and a mop.
Is there a question, or is it
That's the whole joke.
that's the whole
it.
joke? I thought you were going to do, like, knock knock, who's there interrupting cow?
Interrupted moo.
Moo.
Yeah, that's a good one.
An elementary school favorite.
A man sent 10 puns to his friends, hoping one would make them laugh. No pun intended.
Ba-dum-tsh.
I missed that one. Is it
A
worth
man,
it to say it
a
again?
man sent 10 puns to his friends,
It's about an airplane.
hoping, hoping one would make them laugh. No pun intended.
Ah,
Ah.
that was-
Some more rocks popping up on our side scan sonar.
Yeah.
So if you are a fan of seeing what oceanic rocks look like on side scan sonar, we are the perfect spot for you.
Also in Argus Cam.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Ooh, there's some
And-
big ones.
And most of this is basalt, right? Probably.
You tell me.
I mean,
Basalt?
most
Should be.
Yeah, because in American Samoa, they're all volcanic islands, so it's igneous. I think.
Well, the ocean floor is made of basaltic rock.
Yeah. And then terrestrial, like continental plates, are all granite or granitic.
Yep. Something you should never take for granted.
Nope.
Of course, you made a stupid joke.
Oh, man. He put the gasoline down and you just lit the match.
I know.
That's on fire.
I gotta make sure I keep.
In the not good way.
Let me speak into the mic. Make sure you hear me.
What numbers were they? 1 second. That would be 51 and 52.
Viewer asked if we saw the fish eat the shark
Yes.
from the Okeanos, and yes,
Oh,
we
Oh,
did
I
see
have
that.
to see that still.
And
Oh,
here's
Summer
the
hasn't?
I
crazy
haven't seen
part.
it yet. The grouper.
Is it
Yeah.
because
Ah.
you had to watch a commercial first?
Here's
Meh.
here's the recursive part of it. If you saw that on IFL Science, it was posted by Madison.
Oh, I have to look it up
RSCF,
after
yeah.
this.
Yeah, Madison is our FCF. She was on our shift before, so she is 8 to 12.
Do we have a new target, or you're looking at an old one? Disregard.
This rock and/or ridge has a pretty big shadow.
On the starboard side.
Yes.
Aye.
Aye, aye.
Aye.
Oh, somebody just found fault with my geologic puns. Oh, well played, well played.
You're just here for the money. You only come out to get Richter.
Make so much, you can put it on a scale.
We should stop.
On this ship, we're never going to get ahead.
I'm so tuning you guys out right now.
We're in a downward spiral over here.
This is not a great way to end our trip. Somebody say something actually
Death
funny?
spiral of jokes.
Anybody? I will pull this ROV over.
I'll turn this thing around.
One of our viewers found the Nautilus Live website on accident and was super excited, especially when we were on the Galapagos.
Who here was on the Galapagos?
Not me.
Not
Oh,
I.
Rennie just left.
It was 2 legs before.
No, that was a long time ago.
Oh, they went in 2015.
Yeah, that sounds
Something
right.
long.
I was on a different boat then.
Some of our viewers are also excited for shift change. And
Yeah.
and the lack of puns that will ensue.
Right.
All
You
right.
did this to us. You did this to our watch.
See if you guys can get Steven talking.
What did one tectonic plate say to the other when he bumped into him?
Sorry, it's my fault.
Yep.
Well
Good
done.
job.
Nice. I actually don't hate that one, so
Well, with all these
We're
ship
doing
puns,
good.
we should take a bow.
no. Should have left it at the fault.
Oh, she gave you a stern look.
That's right. I'm getting.
Oh, that was all those little things in my ear. Where are you, Wendy?
The viewers have quite a few great puns to help me out here.
Well, that's just swell.
Where do continents sleep? On the bedrocks.
Man, where were these all?
Dr. Megan, do you have any archaeological ones?
I'm so sorry. We have been discussing with Michael, and I missed the whole thing. What?
It's fine. It's better that way.
See, they're doing actual science.
What? What were you talking about?
We're talking about puns.
Oh, archaeological puns?
Yes.
No. Sorry. Nav, can you zoom out on the high pack area?
Yes.
She doesn't have any archaeological puns to feature.
That one.
I think it's just all of her jokes are kind of old.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, seems good.
So here's a great we've reached rock bottom on our geology puns. I agree, viewers. I agree.
I do have a favorite story about when people get archaeology and geology mixed up.
Yeah.
I had a guy, like a person that I was working with, not in an academic setting, said something like, "Oh, what do you do?" And I said, "Oh, I'm an archaeologist." And he goes, "Oh, yes, I have a big box of rocks in my house that I've been collecting. And I just really like to take them out and look at them every once in a while." And I was like,
At least they didn't ask you to identify a dinosaur.
That's like every time.
I've not gotten the dinosaur ones. I've just gotten the geology ones. Yeah, I love rocks
but
too.
But it's not just like, I love rocks. It's like, oh, you know, and then they tell you something about dinosaurs, and I'm like, well, that's a really interesting thing that you just said, but I don't know anything about that.
Well, Dr. Megan, don't worry. Your sister said that she's going to dig up some archaeological jokes for you.
Oh, thank you very, very much. That would be awesome. And I completely missed it. Yeah. Yeah, stay on for Michael's watch.
Stay on and bother us. That's weird.
Yeah, it's.
I think that's 36.
That
we went back over.
Yeah, probably.
Or that could be. I don't know.
That one that was neat. Can you get past? You okay? Okay. Yeah, I really liked that one, but just because it looked kind of neat.
Yeah. Oh, we can zoom in.
That one was very, yeah.
That's a boat. That looks like a boat.
It was very strange. And then that one, it had these two little spots below it as well, but, you know, it just looked kind of weird. Okay. Bunch of rocks.
So, Dr. Brennan, when you clean up the sonar images, does that program kind of take a while, or is it something that's a relatively quick process?
Well, the actual process is pretty quick. What takes a while is downloading the data from the Nautilus system to the laptop that I need to use, and then importing the side scan files into the system. That all takes a really long time, but then I have to go through, and you see the yellow and red line, or sorry, the green and red line that's kind of on the middle. I need to like redo that so that it knows where the bottom is, and just make sure that it looks right, and then it can correct for the it's called slant range, and it kind of corrects for the attenuation as the sound moves across the swath. And then there's a couple of things that are more like, you know, check this box and it'll think. So it does take the actual processing doesn't take a while, but it does take a while to get it all in there, because it's more like just lots of data, so processing time, and then the more I add to it, so after today there'll be more to add, and the bigger the project file gets, it, you know, the slower everything takes.
So are these files like gigabytes upon gigabytes?
Each one is set to max out at 600 megabytes, so that they don't become too massive. And we've been writing about 3 or 4 per line, so it's not like huge. It's not like the terabytes of data we get for video, but there's definitely quite a bit of data there.
Nice, thanks.
Okay.
I believe that spells eat. Maybe snacks. Snacks.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our watch. Hello, welcome. So the research area is 2 squared miles, more than 5 square kilometers. Good morning, Canada. Thanks for following us. This is great. We have several countries today with us.
Valeria, you're very quiet. Can you put your mic closer to your mouth?
Nope. Sound check. Is this better?
Yeah, that's way better.
Perfect, thank you.
Should we do a round of introductions?
Yeah, sure. Can you start?
Sure. I'm Rebecca. I'll be acting as data logger for the 4 to 8 shift. It's 4 a.m. here.
I'm Mike Brennan. I'm a maritime archaeologist with Search, and I'm the co-lead scientist and watch leader for this watch.
I am Chris Jakes. I am the navigator on this watch.
I'm Wendy. I'm the Argus pilot.
My turn now?
Sure.
I'm the Herc pilot.
And your name is?
Michael Hannaford from Newfoundland.
And this is Stephen Matter, sitting in the video chair for this watch.
Great, and this is Valeria Tamayo Cañadas from UCSB on the communications.
We are up to 55 potential targets.
55.
And 156 sea cucumbers.
That was my next question.
I was just going to ask that.
Well, hold on, we were almost at that yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't think the watches are.
Right.
I think
They're
they've
not
given
on
up
They're
on
not
us.
doing a great
It's
job.
up to us, guys.
Well, I know for sure the 8 to 12 got a little sea cucumbered out.
Yeah.
They got
They
a
got
lot.
they got over that.
There's one.
Hey, look,
There
there's
goes one.
To
one.
be fair, I wasn't playing yesterday. I was QVC coming out.
So we are on those northern lines, I guess, now.
Yes, and we are about to turn.
Yay!
All right. So did we hit any of those potential targets on the way north?
Hey, yeah, they actually got all of them, which is pretty cool. I can bring them up, but let me first, for people just tuning in to the expedition, we're out to the north of, or northwest of American Samoa, out in the South Pacific. And we're looking for the wreckage of the Samoan Clipper, which was a Sikorsky flying boat that crashed in 1938. Captain Ed Music was the chief pilot for Pan American Airways, and he and the crew were doing the inaugural run to New Zealand from the States by way of Pago Pago, and they had an issue and started dumping fuel right after they took off from Pago Pago, headed to New Zealand, and they circled back to try to come in and land, which they had to do from the north to get into the harbor. And they decided to land on the water, and then there was an explosion that witnesses on shore saw, and the aircraft sank with all hands. So we're out here looking for it. We have a coordinate from the search aircraft and search vessel that came out to look for them the next day, or I guess right after, as well as the next day. And so we have that historical account, and so we've been doing, we have a side scan sonar on the ROV Argus, which we're using sort of as a tow fish. So we're doing 200-meter lines that run about 2 miles east-west or so in a 2x2 mile box around that coordinate. We have about 3/4 of that done, and we have about 5 more lines to go. And then if we haven't found anything yet, we're going to expand that to the west and to the south. There are reports of wreckage drifting to the northeast. And so that tells us that the source of that would be somewhere to the southwest. So that is the plan after this. So we did have a couple of interesting targets, and we went over 3 of them last night. I was a little concerned about the targeting because there was some error due to some heave in the Argus data, but we had, is this it? No, that's not it. Hold on. No, that's not it either. So this, I believe, is what 36 was, which is still kind of interesting. There was something squarish on 36, which I don't see here, but it is sort of isolated. It's not like with a bunch of other rocks. So I'll pull that into the other sonar program and see how it looks. Then it was, is that it? Oh yeah, so this is the one that looked like it had 3 things sticking up, and you still kind of see that, which is strange.
Yeah.
So I did look at that in SonarWiz, and it did not look like anything. It looked more like a rock, but I'll definitely want to look at it again, and we might want to get the camera down on it. Then the other one was, I think, 50. And nope. Was it 52? That was the same as 31?
It's not recorded. Wait, possibly.
I think it is.
They have 51 and 52. They are marked as possibly 30 and 31.
Okay. Yeah, so this one, I think you see here, there were a couple of like bar-looking things that were like right angles and sort of narrow and pipe-looking. And so there is this here in that target, which is strange. So again, we went over them, which is good for our targeting, and I will, again, pull these into the SonarWiz and take a look. But these would just be like pieces of debris. I don't think we've seen anything yet that's the main part of the aircraft.
It looks like 50 here is pretty close to that funny tall target.
That's kind of funny.
Do you think that's what it was?
Maybe. Which one is 50? Is it funny and tall? It's funny. I don't know.
Maybe it was from another
There's some
angle.
relief, yeah.
Oh, that was a good one. Oh no, that wasn't what I thought it was. I thought USBL was going off already.
Gets a little swirly.
Nah, still doing okay.
So we started the expedition 3 days ago, right? One lose track of time here.
Is it 3 days? What, 3 days ago?
Yeah. The 14th we left.
Yeah.
The 14th.
Wow.
I say left like we're not still in sight of the island, but left port.
Yeah, so it's been 3 days. We're very close to finish our grid, right?
Yep.
Yes.
The initially planned one.
Yeah, we thought initially that it was going to take about 24 hours, but then we made the distance between lines was wider, so we shortened that just to get better coverage. So it's taken longer. Also, the turns and the general speed has been a little bit slower, just because we have so much cable in the water at this depth. So, but yeah, we're almost done with this, so that's good. We'll see where we stand at the end of it.
And for our audience that is very curious about when Herc would be down in the water, we're gonna first finish to scan the area with the side scan sonar, and after that we're gonna use Hercules for farther exploring the targets.
Was that a question? Why Herc isn't in the water?
No, they are asking when is it going to be down there?
Oh.
Yeah, when.
Not why, just when.
But not why.
No, not why.
Oh, we wrote why.
Oh. I'm sorry, I haven't had any coffee, so,
no,
I'm half human right now and half bilingual also.
No, it's not you. We're just trying to fill out bingo squares
We're trying to
here.
do our bingo.
Oh, you have a bingo going on?
Yeah, we made one up.
So it wasn't why.
And no, if people ask now, it doesn't count.
Well,
Do you want to tell us why, though, anyways?
yeah, sure. Herc would really be in the way. We can do things like this. We can tow around with Herc streamed out of the way behind Argus, but it's just another thing in the water swinging around. Every time we take a turn, it's a risk to it, and it's really just in the way. It doesn't give us any value right now. We're doing a wide side scan, kind of a scan around in the grid pattern, and Herc is really good as a finely pointed flashlight to go around and sniff stuff out, but not very good at searching a wider swath.
What is the thing that you enjoy the most about being the Herc pilot?
I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, I like a lot about it. I like that you. I don't know. You control the field of view. Usually, it's a beautiful, gorgeous video of whatever we're doing is usually pretty neat to look at. You get to control all that and fly around and see all the things. Right now, I'm not loving being the Herc pilot.
Assistant to the Argus pilot.
Assistant to the Argus pilot. That's right.
You get to take gauges once an hour.
Speaking of which, I get to take the gauges now. That's usually an Argus job. I get to do it now.
We get a question about how do we prevent corrosion, and the different parts of the ROVs are waterproofed, and if they aren't, how do we?
That's a good question. For all the parts that will corrode, such as the frame, stuff like that, we use sacrificial anodes. So we have zinc anodes that are attached to the frame at different spots, and they're attached to the arm, and they will take the corrosion. They will corrode before the frame does. So we simply monitor and replace them as needed.
Nice. What is the material? What are they
Zinc.
made out of? Oh, okay, cool.
And is that a coating on the frame, or where? How does that
No,
work?
they're put in various places. They're just pieces of zinc bolted onto the sub, and they will take the corrosion before before anything else does.
That's interesting. That you can kind of pull it away from some areas.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's a very hard concept to get right off the bat, because you think like the metal is still in the water, so shouldn't it all just do it?
But it doesn't work like that,
Can I put those on my 05 Impreza?
I don't think it works like that. But yeah, corrosion, it's got to pull from somewhere. It's just easier to pull from the zinc, and so it pulls from that first.
It's the path of least resistance.
Yeah, so yeah,
that's cool. I gotta read a little. I gotta look that up.
Yeah. But I think you were saying everything else that needs to be away from seawater is sealed, watertight.
That's right.
And also, when you get it on deck, you hose it down pretty good with
fresh water. Yeah.
Fresh water, right?
Yep.
Argus is not going very straight right now.
No, you're starting to
wagging a lot.
finalize your swing. Try and get it more behind us. We're gonna start coming over and come around, see if we can get it. Hopefully, I'd like to get it closer to the line than it has been, but not a ton.
How long has it been over there?
The entire line.
Yeah,
It's
since
been about
we got
50
them,
off.
yeah.
So I'm hoping if we can start the line more behind us, it'll at least go for a while.
I have a question about how many gauges, how do you pronounce that, does Argus have?
How many what?
Gauges?
Gauge?
Oh, gauges.
Gauge? Gauge?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not very phonetic.
Love English. I love English. Love
I'm
it.
glad that I didn't have to learn in a second.
So Argus has 2 like analog gauges that we have a camera looking at, and then we have a bunch of other sensors that read out digitally to our monitors.
And Herc's got a bunch more than.
Yeah, Herc has many more.
Yeah.
You can see those gauges on Argus if you go to the quad view right now. We got a camera just for
You
those.
got them up there. There you go. So one is our what we call the primary comp, which is, as it sounds, the primary is all the fancy electronics. The other one in the background is only for the thrusters.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of about thrusters, we have a question about do the sacrificial anodes also protect the motors of the thrusters?
No, the motors of the thrusters on Argus are they're sealed and internal, and they are protected by this this compensator that we're talking about. So it's just an oil-filled circuit. We use it on both vehicles a lot. Anytime we have a box with wiring or electronics in it that don't need to be in a dry atmospheric condition, we simply fill the box up with oil, and it works due to fluid being virtually incompressible. So if you just fill a box up with oil with, say, 3 psi on it, whatever, something like that, and it'll always it'll push back against the ambient pressure. So we'll go down to 3,000 meters, we'll get that amount of pressure, and it will push back out with that amount plus 3 psi out. So it's really neat, but it's also really simple. It's just a simple little principle that we take advantage of.
But you can't have any air bubbles in there.
Can't have any air in there. You can have a tiny bit, but yeah, you can't have any air in there because that will compress rapidly.
Nice, thanks.
So it's all this technology is very smart and neat, and that's a very simple way that we compensate for the significant amount of pressure acting on everything.
So why is this expedition important to us? That's a very deep question.
I would say, I mean, a lot of people on board have been working on this for years. So they're truly invested in finding the Samoan Clipper. I mean, I can't speak for everyone else on board, but for those of us who just happen to be on board for this cruise, I'd say this is an exploration vessel. It's kind of just in the name, you know. We're out here to see things that have never been seen before, to explore, and on this one we've just partnered up with a couple different teams here so that we can find the Samoan Clipper, understand a little more about what happened, and maybe bring a little closure to the whole situation.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And to add to that, it's a fairly significant historical moment that a lot of people don't really know about. But I mean, a lot of people today don't even really remember Pan American Airways, but they were the pioneer airline that established flights both around the world for the movement of cargo as well as passenger airlines. And that's the way that the reason that air travel is the way it is today is because they founded that. And the Samoan Clipper was one of those pioneering journeys that it was on its inaugural route from the United States to New Zealand and stopped in Pongo Pongo of American Samoa. And the captain of the plane, Ed Music, was the chief pilot, well respected, well renowned as an excellent pilot, and actually trained the navigator who was with Amelia Earhart as well. So there's a historical reason and historical significance to not only this event but also this aircraft itself. And it's been lost for 81 years. There were a couple of witnesses. There's a single location in the accident report, which is what we're using to plan this survey. But you know, like a lot of other shipwrecks that have been found and documented over the years, some of them by Nautilus, it's a chapter of history that it hasn't been seen since it crashed, and so we're going down to find the final resting place of the Clipper and the 7 crew who are on board, but also we want to document the site, look at how it broke up, look at evidence of what sank it. So there was an explosion on board, and it's not known for sure where that was or what caused it. So look at what actually caused the crash, and then look at how it's been in the environment, the marine environment, for 81 years, and how it's corroding, and how the site is dealing with being submerged for that long. So there's a lot of research questions, both historical and scientific, in trying to find this.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, in my case, this is my first time on board of the Nautilus, and just as Chris said, being part of a team that where, you know, exploration, technology, history, archaeology get together is pretty amazing. And this is the result of more than 5 years of research and fundraising. It's a pretty neat experience to be part of this and to pay tribute to all those pioneers 81 years ago and more that started opening the paths for us to enjoy the connected world that we have today.
Thank you.
It's pretty awesome. And speaking of Captain Ed music, I learned yesterday that our crew member and colleague Rebecca is directly connected to him. Rebecca, why didn't you say anything about this? Tell us more.
Well, this was brought up a few days ago to some of the scientists involved with the search. But yeah, so your question was like why are we interested in this, and what are we getting out of this? And my family is actually related to Captain Ed Music.
How?
So Ed Music never had children of his own.
Mm-hmm.
And it is quite distant, but the connection is there. His great-great-great-grandfather was the brother to my great-great-great-great-grandfather. Something close like that. I don't have the exact image pulled up right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so you guys have a common ancestor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah. My dad has known about this relationship to the Musics for a while, and actually he was in New Zealand within the last 2 years, and he made sure to visit Music Point, which is a location in New Zealand named after Ed Music, to recognize some of his contributions to connecting New Zealand to America. So he was pretty excited when he found out that I was going to go help look for the plane and for his final resting spot. That was kind of just a fun
And that happened
coincidence.
randomly, right?
Yes, no, I had no idea that I didn't request to be part of this mission at all. I was assigned to it, and in some of the pre-cruise information, we made this connection.
Yeah, we were all sort of just like jaw on the floor when she told us. We were like, you can't be serious.
That's really cool.
Awesome.
Do you know if Music Point is on the North or the South Island?
No, I do not know off the top of my head.